Hello, everybody, and welcome to TiBBzTV. Welcome to my stream. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't stream tonight, but I'm going to, against my better judgment. I guess this is one of those streams where I usually would have a whole bunch of things to say, you know. But I think more than anything, I'd like to apologize. I mean, to be fair, I don't really feel bad for anything. I think it's more of a matter. You know, that works. It's not that I feel bad for anything. It's more so. How to explain this? So I have what they call acute depression. I also have Asperger's. I also have been through a lot of BS in the last half a decade that most people shouldn't have to deal with. I mean, everyone has moral boundaries that they're comfortable with and things that they just don't want to be around. I think it's fair to say I don't want to have to see despicable things and confessions by disgusting, terrible people. Mainly because who would want to see that, you know? And the reactions people have had left me very questioning. I also have had to wonder why, in sitting here on streams, people have been dismissive of some of the most important things I've ever seen. And I am affected by that. I feel alone in the world. I feel angry at the world. And I guess if you want to put it into joke form, I am mad at the internet. That's fair. I guess in a lot of ways that's actually very true. But there are a lot of moments I realize maybe I shouldn't do that online. Because again, I'm preaching to a choir that doesn't really care, you know? And I'm not going to sit here and try to act like a a-hole. It's not my goal in this one. I was intoxicated earlier. I'm not saying this for any other reason than transparency. Okay? For about the last hour and a half, I've been drinking water. Dasani's a especially good brand. And I have been trying to flush my system of the alcohol that I have put into it. I would like to know here for the record, I'm not a big fan of booze. But I have been depressed. Normally what I would do when I'm depressed is I will either dabble in the 420. We all probably are familiar with that by now, what that is, etc. But long story short, I smoke. It's all legal. It's fine. I don't do it a whole lot, just enough to take the stress away. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but weed has always had a calming reaction. Lately, I've had no affordability. Tonight, I'm going to share with you all what's been going on with enough details to explain all the missing pieces, but also, I'm not going to use any names. I'm not going to name locations where I do not have to. No addresses will be named here. I don't feel that's necessary. I am also going to bring up some details I have not brought up previously because it'll help make some things make sense. Where to begin? I've been depressed because I have had to deal with so much BS that it's had a significant impact on my life the last couple of years. It's been going on for more than 4. But the last couple of years, I started to really feel it. And though the people who did the terrible things in my life are mostly gone, the damage they caused was never really fixed. It's it's not me saying it's unfixable either. It's just with my current assets, resources, I'm meeting more people, so I guess that's actually the one thing that has been significantly better. But with what I currently have at my disposal, some of the things that need to be fixed are not easily fixable. Right now, I am still technically homeless after what my previous landlord did. Now, I've been referring to him as Mr. Griffiths, so no need in changing that. We all know who he is to some extent. I'm not going to sit here, and I also think maybe me crapping on politics or any particular side of politics isn't great either. I do have animosity for both sides, and I also dislike all politicians. There are some people I dislike far more than others just because of what them and their rhetoric has done in my life, to my life. But I don't think that anyone should be judged for who they believe in or want to support. Unless it's Jared Fogle or something like that. There's a noose out there for people like that, I'm sure. And that's the meanest thing I'm going to say on this stream. Okay? Because if you don't know who Jared Fogle is, read into it and you'll understand. Okay? I'll leave it at that. It's just an example. Okay? Some things are unacceptable. Mr. Griffiths was somebody who violated my rights and treated me like less of a person while ripping me off. There is a significant amount of animosity for that man. My goal is to one day figure out how to legally make that right, and I have no doubt in my mind it's possible. But I'd be a liar if I said it didn't bother me. And I'd be a liar if I said it did not actually destroy a lot of my stability. Both mentally and, of course, structurally. I mean, being homeless has always been a thing that sucks. And for me, it has sucked. I owe a lady friend more than I can ever get back. Just because I don't know if I'll ever be where she's at in life. She is an amazing friend, and I can definitely thank Mr. Griffiths for one thing. If it were not for his blatant attempts to rip me off and put me in less than civilized housing for the sake of an easier paycheck and free money, I might never have met her. And I appreciate her more than she'll ever know. When she let me come stay with her, which is where I am now, that has always been truth. I was grateful. I am. But I'm also frustrated. My housing has always been about me. I've always liked having my own space. I don't like couch surfing. It's not something I like doing. Yes, she's a friend, and yes, she does not want me to be suffering out there under the stars each night. Despite what another person may actually have. I don't know if Mr. Griffiths is proud of himself in that. I do not know if his whole goal was to hurt me in that. He did, by the way. If there is any hate, it's because he hurt me for reasons that made no sense. For what? A paycheck? It's the one thing I don't understand is why we look at our fellow man and would screw them over something as stupid as money. It's less than human at that point, and it's very much frustrating. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for sympathy here. I'm just telling you guys what's been on my mind and why I decided to act stupid earlier. Because I could have said things in very different ways, and I don't think the alcohol helped at all, honestly. There's a million other ways I could have handled that. But I've been staying with her for a minute now. And it's been an experience. It's both calming, it's also unnerving. Not because anything. She's not the reason it's unnerving. It's I'm not used to this. I'm not used to people giving a crap about my well-being. I'm not used to people wanting to see me okay or live. The reasons why people hate me are nonsensical in every way. On May 5th, 2022, I exposed a pedophile named April 23. Real name, I will leave that for the YouTube side of things. I'm sure that video is either up or will be up at some point. I'm putting all my videos back up, so I know it'll go up at some point. Be surprised if it wasn't up already, though. Instead of the internet looking at the overwhelmingly damning evidence of not only her, but those who knew what she was and supported her, people tore my life to shreds. I don't understand where the hate's coming from unless they themselves are predators. And if they are, okay, maybe I can say something mean on the stream. Your life doesn't matter much at that point. There's no room on this earth for living, breathing predators. You know why? Because if you do it in front of me and you expect me to just be okay with it, and that's your entire issue with me, your life doesn't need to be a thing. Now, I don't approve of any sort of violence. It's just not my cup of tea. There's a million other ways to make people change their ways. Mentally breaking people, for example, that's a solution. If we can't lock them in a jail cell and we can't end their existence, I guess the way to put it, then we can shatter their mind. Kind of hard to be that when you're no longer who you are to begin with. A broken mind, shattered to the point where you're just a husk walking around and there's no one behind your eyes anymore. No drive, no motivation, no desire. Just brain dead. That's how you solve the predator problem. But that being said, that doesn't really matter right now, right? What matters is I got crapped on by the entire internet, and that made me question a lot of my motives of being a good person or trying to be a streamer. All I wanted was play video games, not to see it. No one cared about me. And yes, if you're wondering, the reason why I have a lot more of a aggressive disposition towards a certain political alignment is because, well, these predators were that alignment, and that alignment was MAGA. It's weird how many Trump supporters are okay with it and protective of it. Sorry, I find that concerning, and maybe I'm a bad guy for that. But unfortunately, I was born in America. I was born white. Not very entitled. I've never had anything in my life. I've never had anything. Except, a very brazen, stubborn opinion. And that opinion is you people suck. I'm sorry that everybody has to hear it. I gotta learn to bottle it up, I guess. I don't know. But 2 more of those Dasanis and I should be fine. There is a lot of inner vengeance. There is a desire to break people into. Certain people. Mostly monsters. I say monsters, but I don't mean claws and red eyes, obviously. And I understand that kind of thing consumes a person, and I'm sorry for that too. I'm not sorry to them. Oh, no. I'm not sorry to them. I'm just sorry to everybody else who comes here looking for gameplay, good vibes. And I try to promise good vibes, but then I always find myself falling back into that when times are rough, and a lot of you shouldn't have to hear it. And I'm sorry for that. I have wanted to be a streamer since I was 26. That's when I started really dabbling into YouTube. I don't know how long I've been streaming and doing content for. I believe it was 2016. So 10 years. It's probably about 29 then, by that logic. And then 3 years before that was, I guess, the unspoken years. I do have a channel from 2013. I had some videos on there. They weren't special or good or anything. They were just me making little videos, coping with my daily life. So yeah, I guess if you count those 3 years, I was about 26. I was 29 when I started full time. I made skit videos and I loved it. I liked making little stupid stories with costumes and being every character. I have autism. What do you expect? I had no friends. I'm trying not to cry about that shit. Stupid. I didn't have any friends growing up. I didn't because I wasn't really allowed to have any. And by the time I started to, life just wasn't friendly. I met one cool person. She died. My world kind of fell apart after that. Family wasn't great. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk ill will of my family. Of course not. But I think they could have been very different how they handled everything. When it came to my hopes and my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, things that I wanted to do with my life, I think they should have respected it more. When I had my little moments of success, it should not have been about them. Those should have been my moments. I think that the excuses of why I couldn't have friends, go hang out with my own people, peers, whatever, maybe shoving me in a room all day to draw my journal and fantasize about what it meant to be a part of the real world. Maybe that could have been done differently too. Instead, I sat in my room all day growing up, drawing in a notebook, wishing I was normal. Being a streamer was my closest opportunity to that. I can interact with an audience. I can play video games, can find people through doing that have similar interests. Nobody wants to be friends with somebody who's miserable all the time, though. I think it's justified, but I don't think it helps my situation, you know? I notice that when I hang around actual people IRL, so they say when for in IRL is in real life. So you go outside, touch grass, you know, hang out with your friends. I'm typically happier. It's like you're not alone anymore, you know, like doesn't matter about what's in my head or alters or ghosts or any of that. When you're around other people, other living, breathing human beings, it's not as lonely anymore when they acknowledge you exist. And when you have friends, it means more when it's not always on the frickin' internet. And that's the part that has always sucked about it, is most of the time it's on the internet. It's the best options I got. So I've always thought about, you know, make the best of the streaming stuff. I made the skit videos, it was cool and all, but I'm not here to make thousands of edits and fine-tune the best movie scale productions. I just want to have a good time. Gaming was kind of that, you know, and that's why I don't have a game that I play. I mean, I love Fallout so much, but that gets dull. Even I'm going to say it, that gets dull after a while. want to try new things and play other games. And there's lots of channels to survive off that. Like an Angry Joe show on Twitch and YouTube, right? You'll play a little bit of everything. Do these little reviews on it. That looks like fun. I wish I could put that kind of time into things. A green screen would be cool too, because then I could be on camera. You guys could see me finally. I promise, I'm not scary to look at. I shave, Beard's not really there. It's not my cup of tea. But anyway. Yeah, I think there's room for that kind of content. I think I could do it. Sit here, play video games, meet cool people. But after all that happened, it's kind of hard. It's harder because I've had mental health services for the strict purpose of me trying to get a therapist. I'm trying to look out for my mental health because they always say your mental health is more important than your physical health because you can always fix your physical health. That's always fixable. But your mental health, if that goes, it's gone for good. So I've always tried to find therapists, and I found that in Michigan, it doesn't matter where, mental health sucks. Because I could sit here and do everything in my power to try to get these things done. But the case managers, the workers, the supervisors, they don't actually want to do their job, and I'm starting to think it's all one big scam. Because if it wasn't a scam, they're billing my whatever insurance or whatever. And you have to wonder what they're doing with that. I've tried reporting this to the right people so they can do their investigations. Because, if you're not going to do your job, you shouldn't be billing me like you are. Because the only thing I've ever asked for is a therapist. Instead, I get one call every 2.5 to 3 months and a bunch of BS in between about how they can't do anything because excuses. Therapist. Send a damn referral. Let me talk to somebody who can actually help me get past my problems so I don't have to pour it out in streams when I'm online. And that's a internal battle. That's a internal battle I've been having behind the scenes. Trying to get a therapist so that I can get my mental health back on track. Because the depression and that despair doesn't really go away. There's no closure. Yes, all the people who did it are mostly gone. A lot of them got exactly what they deserved. I should be happy. But I'm not. I'm wishing I'd done it myself. Kicked their teeth in, or what the heck people do. I don't know. It doesn't seem to help because the things that those people had done, I still can't fix it. There's the homelessness thing, obviously. I'm tired of fixing things like food stamps. But I'm also tired of being broke to the point where I would even need them. Like, this is me, right? I believe that if people need help, there should be a way for them to have help. Okay? Not trying to sound like some humanitarian here. The way I would deal with criminals is not humane. Okay? Never broken law in my life. I have an animosity for you like that. And my hiccup's really kicking in, so I apologize. But I believe if people need help, you should be able to give them help. They should be able to get help. If they need help with housing, there should be answers to that. Answers that you can find and be able to use. Food options? Yes. No one should have to go hungry. That's ridiculous. We live in a country that is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. If we cannot afford groceries in this day and age, maybe we should be allowed to grow gardens. Maybe hunting should be allowed more than it is now. I mean, survivability should be a thing. We should care about our fellow man to help each other. Instead, you go to any restaurant, they're throwing pizzas out back and they won't let you take it to the homeless or nothing. Like, Why are we throwing away the food? I mean, I get it. It's fast food. It's pizza from like Domino's or whatever the heck it usually would be. It happens at multiple places. Why not help people? Why throw it away? I mean, until it is in the trash can, it's not expired. If you didn't throw it away yet, it's not trash. That's still food. Doesn't matter if it's warm or not. I've never understood that, and it's... I don't like handouts at the same time. I don't. I want to be able to earn what I have. And so, though I believe that people should have options, I would like to be able to do it on my own without that help. I wish I could get a job, but that's mentally shattering to me. From November of 2024 until I want to say September, maybe August or September, I want to say, of 2025, I looked for work nonstop. I filled out every application I could. I tried everything to get interviews. No one would ever give me a shot. I think it was between 9 to 11 months of that. Somewhere in there. I don't know what the math would be. But November till September, October, whatever, or August, September, I mean. Well, by that logic, that's a long time, right? I gave up. I'm tired of being told I'm not good enough. I'm tired of being told no. I had a job at McDonald's, but McDonald's people sucked. But it was more than the fact that they sucked. People were targeting my job because they didn't like me and the fact that I exposed a predator. And then they're trying to make it like it wasn't about that. But everyone who was witnessing what's happening knew it was. There's a reason those people aren't around no more. Because they were predators. We should be celebrating that, but like I said, the damage still is a thing, and it doesn't feel like a win. It just feels like our world really is that messed up. Well, that cost me my job because they didn't like the fact that I was making money, yet telling me I needed to have a job, which is pick a lane, Well, after that, it was impossible to get jobs, I've noticed. So now I can't go out and make the money that I could do it myself. Now I don't even know how I do it anymore at this point. My checks are really small, the ones that do come in, and even then, you don't get nothing out of that. That's no way to live. For what? Being a decent person? I mean, yes, I've been rude. I've been abrasive. I've used very colorful language over the years. And I have done things that Twitch would look at me and just shake their head in shame. Like, why, bro? Why? And YouTube has endured me. I've never been banned on any platform. So I'm not that bad. And I've been on TikTok a lot. But that bit of hilarity inside, right? That hilarity aside, I don't think I've been perfect. I also don't think I'm an indecent person. In fact, I think I've been too nice. I think... And this is not my villain arc. No, I'm just noting... I don't think I deserve that for exposing a predator. It's lunacy. It's frighteningly ridiculous that in this day and age, people will attack you and upend your life and stalk and torment you for 4 straight years, including on Christmas. That one was the one that always it blew my mind that people would not ever take a day off because they were hoping they could get rid of me. This is not a victory moment either. It's more of a moment of kind of shock. It's like, how empty is your life? That you would not only defend monstrous people, but you'd also spend every waking day of every waking moment for 4+ years trying to make my life a living hell because I called one out. And then I just started noticing that the people around them were sick for a reason. That is That's how people become hateful. And I have been. I'm sorry to my viewers that you had to see it, but I'm not sorry for it being a thing. I acknowledge that I have my problems, and I acknowledge that I definitely need to figure out a therapist. Honestly, I should be suing these mental health places. Because honestly, I'm just asking for a therapist. From November 24, it is now what? What even month are we in? July of 2026? How the hell does it take that long to get a therapist and you still don't have one? Because they're that incompetent at their jobs. And they're billing me. You know, I do think I'm allowed to have crash outs at that point. I don't know who wouldn't be. I'm just sorry you guys have had to see it. I don't want that to be my Twitch streams. I came to the Twitch with a goal, and I said this was my goal to Twitch. I don't plan on lying to Twitch. I want them to see it happen. That promise I made. I want to stream video games and be the best version of myself. I haven't been. I've been mentally lost. For a lot of reasons. I'm about to have a house of my own. Lady friend came through. I'll be able to live comfortably. Maybe forever. I don't know. Well, not forever. Nothing lasts forever. I know that sounds morbid. I'm not trying to be morbid right now. I'm trying to be transparent. But, we all gotta die someday. Avera says, I'll be alive till I'm 90. That's a nice thought. Maybe Varys is a delusion. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about him too much. But that thing has not been wrong. Ever once. Let's say I do live till I'm 90. It's a long life. I'm almost halfway there. And that's something that bothers me a little bit because I'm 39 years old as of August 2nd and I don't have much to show for it. Mostly because of what people did to the stuff that I did have to show for it, and that angers me. I regret getting involved with the general consensus of any conversation. Things like Cyrax and White Bowser. These people are insane. I don't know how they're allowed to walk free, let alone on the internet. The things I've seen. I wanted to understand how to destroy trolls for what they were doing, and I think after a while, that negative environment does something to you. You don't really ever feel like you anymore. And in this case, you, I mean me. And I find myself always on guard, always thinking about my failures. Some people say I've become a troll myself. That's fair. I do see it a little bit. Except if I'm a troll, I'm hoping to destroy all the trolls. So I guess, I don't know what you'd call that. Anti-troll? I don't like that. I don't like that identity, though. I don't like that label. Because that's not who I want to be. I do not want to be in any capacity what they were. Because those were terrible people. And whether the trolling was justified or not, their trolling was not. I'm talking about mine. I don't enjoy it. I feel gross after every time, and it's like, yes, I'm effective, I'm good at it. I hate that I'm good at it. But it also breaks me inside. A little more each time. Because I could be being happy instead. I could get out there, meet people, network, if you will. Like this game alone is one of the better games I've played in a while, and I'm actually surprised by that. I didn't think they made good games anymore because a lot of them felt like soulless. I don't really want to use the words like woke or slop. Those things, that all feels like internet gargle that just keeps getting thrown around and it becomes the norm. I don't like those words. Soulless, though, that does fit. There's a lot of those right now, and it sucks. I think that's part of why I've been so openly frustrated with things like GTA 6 and Bethesda. What is going on, you know? I love Bethesda. Bethesda Game Studios made some of my favorite games, no matter what people say. Yes, they have their flaws. Every game does, though. I think maybe I'm just on the internet too much. Maybe I'm listening to too many people who do not matter to me. I give you a list, but what's the point? Maybe if I just chopped all that white noise out of my life, maybe I'd still enjoy it inside. Those flawed, ridiculous games, you know? Because playing this game, I've never played the original. How different could it be, you know? I'm sorry you guys have had to see it, though. I have my issues, and I'm not proud of that. And I figure maybe you guys need to hear it for a change in a less destructive, angry way. My life has a lot of promise going forward. This house, living comfortably, good people, good vibes, centered all around it. I'm just so used to all the bad that because it's taking a little longer, I've never been a part of something like this. I don't know what this means for my life. I'm actually a little scared. I mean, wouldn't you be? Maybe not. I don't know. When you don't ever have anything good happen in your life, nothing good ever happens. It's always been misery or despair or letdown after letdown after letdown after letdown. You start to believe it's not possible to have good times. Good things don't happen to people like you because maybe you're just cursed. That's how I feel. I know that's probably a little bit ludicrous because curses might not be real. I don't know. Okay? Some people may disagree. They're not here right now, clearly. Okay? But it starts to haunt you after a while. Why is it my life never has those good moments? I've never had the experience of buying a house, being a part of that in any capacity. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know how long is too long. I don't know if this process is normal. Because it's not, boom, I get scared. And I'm like, what if it doesn't? And then this letdown just pushes me further into this dark hole that I'm in. I don't want you guys to see that. I deeply apologize. I do not want you guys to see that and just depressed frustration all the time. That's not good vibes. That's not what these streams should ever be. I came to Twitch so I could be PG as all hell and have two platforms of awesome content. And I've been using this place as my personal venting box instead because I'm so used to letdowns that I'm convinced the next thing that might be good might just be another letdown, and I'm sorry. I really, really am. I don't know who I'm apologizing to because last I checked, a lot of people who watch my content hate my guts. At least that's what has been said. Okay? There's a lot of people who seem to like my content at the same time. To the people who will like my content when it's at its best, you're the ones I'm apologizing to. And anyone going forward too, I suppose. Because those people don't come here to see me depressed. They want to see me having a good time. That's what streamers do. That's how streamers build their community. Positive vibes, having a good time, playing cool games, or whatever, you know? And I am sorry. I know it doesn't make anything better. I know some people saw me crashing out earlier like crazy. I guess it was within Twitch's community guidelines because we're still here. I guess I could be grateful I didn't do anything really stupid, but could have been worse. I hear it's gonna be right before my birthday. I'm both excited and terrified at once. If it is something that does happen, I say if as if it isn't, but it has already been confirmed through enough people behind the scenes. It would be the first good thing to happen to me in years. Maybe even a decade. That I don't know why I'm not ready for that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't like the misery or the pain or the anger. I don't like being miserable. I don't know why I'm not ready for positivity like that, for a change or for a good moment, you know, like that. I guess I'm just not ready for that. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyway, I'm excited on another note though because I'll be stable finally. I'll have stability in my life. I won't have to wonder if tomorrow is I won't have to wonder if I have to figure out where I'm going to live tomorrow because this place will be permanent. Yes, it's awesome. You know, celebrate that. It's a beautiful thing. I also won't have to deal with slumlords anymore. I set out on a mission. I said I would never rent. After Mr. Griffiths, I would never rent from anyone ever again. I know it's a little premature, but we can definitely toast to that. It's Dasani water, but still. I don't care if nobody believes me. You'll notice. You'll be evident. I'm not going to explain how right now, but it will be. Maybe that'll make me happier. Maybe I'll be happy after that. And hopefully I won't have to vent or be frustrated or have stupid moments. But I don't know. I do know this. I don't care if we're playing pirate games or not. No more rum during streams. I drank half that thing and, well, profanity in 3, 2, 1. I was shit-faced for like half a day. And I'm really sorry, guys. That is not the kind of content I want to do. So no more of that. I don't think I said anything super out of line, but still, it's not exactly. I don't really like bad product, is what we call it. I've been trying to think like a businessman. How do you make things? Look, it's a stream. I'm selling you the idea that you should watch my stream. You can't do that with bad product. You know? And honestly, I am watching all the wrong channels. I think anything with politics should not. No more politics, for example. Because even though I do have issues with one side of the field and what because of what they've done and the kind of people they've chosen to be, that won't age well in 5 years. You know what I mean? No one's gonna care. If you want to make a quality video or a quality stream, and this is based on what I've seen other people do, people who've actually succeeded, you want something that people are gonna want to watch years from now. You know? Ooh, that was bright. Holy shit. And I have not done that at all. At least I don't think so. There's a few videos that I have that have been popular, but nothing that's on my channel anymore. Somebody earlier mentioned I should do YouTube. I have a YouTube. It's just it's complicated, I guess. I have a YouTube where I archive my stuff, but what I really want to do is multi-stream. That's something I really want to do. I feel like that'd be more fun. I feel like it'd be better for growth. At the same time, I feel like I'm a little let down by the YouTube. But what's really crazy about the whole part of the YouTube thing is, and no offense, Twitch, in case they ever see this, I do love YouTube more. I've been with YouTube since 2013, and just because I have a side hoe named Twitch now, if you want to look at it a certain way, right? I don't plan on leaving YouTube. YouTube is my main bitch. And YouTube has always been a great platform. It's just, they got a lot of garbage on there now. I gotta figure out how to weed it out, how to clean up my homepage so I don't have to see it all the time. There's a lot of negative people, and I don't understand why it's that way. It's just, it's there. It's hard. It's hard to be there when you know what you're gonna see is gonna bring you down even more. And I am down a lot lately. I don't know why either. You think I wouldn't be? I mean, maybe I should just call myself out here, right? You might as well. We're already there. Let's just do it. I don't understand why I'm depressed about it. I think somewhere inside I'm not ready. I'm not prepared for this because I never believed it would happen. And I'm wondering, I've been wondering, what am I doing wrong? I've done everything I was supposed to do. I busted my rear end and tried to get a job, and I searched and searched and searched and searched. No one wanted me because there's people with more experience every time. Or there were other reasons, but we don't need to get into them. They're just miserable and kind of messed up, actually. I would search and search places to live. Everyone's just looking to rip people off, especially me. How many times do I want to fill out an application and pay a fee for the application, knowing it's going to take away from what I could be paying to pay rent? And I don't have much to begin with. That's messed up. By the way, any checks I do get, just so we're all clear on the issue, do not cover first and last month's rent. They never have. That's what has made this even harder every time. Just everything. Just everything. It's always been, I did everything I was supposed to do. Why is this only happening now? What did I do differently? Was it because I was just nice to the right person? Is me being a good person for all this time, or at least, I'm not going to say a good person. I'm going to say the best person I could possibly have been, given what was going on. Is this just karma coming back to me saying, you did well, here's something to make up for it? Is that the universe balancing out finally? I don't know. I wish I had the answers, you know? But I shouldn't be depressed. About to have a freaking house. Be able to live comfortably, have good people, good vibes. I'll be able to stream the way I want to. I'll be able to play all the games when they come out. I'll never miss a launch ever again. I'll have every console. Why am I depressed right now? I don't know. Maybe because when I got to this point, I thought a lot more people would be there with me when we finally got there. And they're not. That sucks. No, I'm fine, I promise. No one's asking, but if you're wondering, no, I'm fine. I just cry my eyes out because that is something that bothers me. Again, I don't know if that's it either. It could be anything, right? I always kind of dreamed that when I finally got to that point where I had something big like that happen, I'd have my family and all my old friends around. I always thought it'd be really cool. Nope. They're gone. And that's why I hate those people so much. The ones who did it, mind you. They're gone, but the damage is still there. And I don't know if we can ever fix that. Maybe. Maybe I can. Maybe a mission of pure, unfiltered vengeance. Or maybe I just try to live the best life I can and, remember the memories. I don't know. I've been torn on that. Do I let it go knowing this is finally a thing and live the best life I can, or do I try to fight tooth and nail until there's nothing left? It's not much of a happy existence at that point. But, shouldn't be depressed about it, though. Should be happy. Good things come to those who wait, and I've waited way too long. But still waiting is the problem. You know what they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. Yeah, I've been going through it. The emotions and sadness. This empty feeling that people have when they really don't know what to feel. I'll sit here staring at the ceiling all night sometimes. I'll be in those Discord calls and I'll just be floating along and not have much to say. They're cool people in those calls. They're all just in there chatting, playing video games, talking shit to each other, but I don't really feel anything right now. It's just, there's depression, but depression is not a feeling, it's a state of being, I don't know if it's sadness or anger, frustration, despair. But the way I handle it has been poor, and I'm sorry for that. Because I do feel bad. It's not... I don't want you guys to see me being a... Forgive my wording, okay? Forgive my wording. But I don't want you guys to see me being a sniveling cunt. I want you guys to come to my streams and see... I want you to see someone having a good time, or at least making the best of it. Me bringing them the vibe every time is... It's not great, Then people don't feel welcome, and that's never something I want you guys to feel. That's why I'm apologizing. I don't want people to feel like they aren't welcome here. Yes, people of a certain side of a certain landscape on a certain area of the internet have done horrible things, and I have an animosity towards a lot of people in that group. My rule of thumb is if you're kind to me, I'm kind to you. I don't care who you are, where you come from, who you support, who you believe in. Just be a decent person. And I intend to keep that going. Because that's the best thing that I can do. That's the fairest way to go about it. And I don't want people to think like they're not welcome just because I have issues with a bunch of, well, internet trolls, alright? Jacksepticeye is a major YouTuber, and he said a few times, ignore the trolls. I should have. At the same time, I'm just a very stubborn person. I'm stubborn, okay? I don't regret that. Once I'm in mute. Feel like I was gonna puke there. It's all flushing out of me. The water is doing its job. It's just it tastes gross. Ugh. Yep, I'll be fine. Anyway, I could sit here and yap to you guys for the next 70 years if I could. I probably will if you think about it, but it depends how long YouTube's around for. But I do think I'm gonna probably hop off and go to bed. Tomorrow I'd like to kind of just start fresh. I will note that I have not been porting my videos to YouTube for Black Flag Resynced. I could have it be a Twitch exclusive, I guess. That or I'll port it and just deal with publishing it later. Because I want to try to keep the... Well, last stream, we didn't do anything for story. At all. So I'm just going to eat it. If you guys didn't watch it, you don't have to. If one of my haters wants to upload it for their own content, by all means, you have my permission. Mainly because I don't want it. You can have it. Call it Tibbs crashes out over ridiculous things. Or whatever. My haters are good for one thing. They archive a lot of my old content when I can't. Again, are you guys sure you hate me? You've been helping me a lot in the ways that aren't really meant to be helpful. It's kind of odd. But, like, if you guys do want to see that stream, just for transparency sake, okay? I'm sure it'll be somewhere. But, I'll upload the other stuff to YouTube within... At some point. I don't have my laptop right now. There's another person in my life who... They owe me money, and they also were supposed to be helping me with a lot of my things. And they've been dropping the ball across the board. It's been very frustrating. I have no animosity for the person, but wow, you know. And one of the things they were supposed to help me with is, well, my equipment. And lady friend has dealt with a lot of it since they weren't able to, but come on. So there's a transference of some equipment to other equipment, and that's what we've been doing, is moving our stuff from point A to point B for when this whole thing goes down. But if one person's holding some things and one person's holding other things, I need some of the things from the one person, even though I can rely on the other person. And that other person has not been available for all the worst reasons, actually. And so that's where my laptop power cord is at. This was recent, by the way. So once I figure that out or get that back, then we'll be able to use the laptop for those kinds of things. But until then, I'm limited to the phone, and that sucks. I mean it. The phone sucks. I'm gonna try to see if there's ways to edit or shorten clips or take clips from the Twitch streams via Twitch. I do not know. And if there are, I highly doubt I can do it from the phone. But it might be easier. Just so you guys know where to find my content. I should have my YouTube on my homepage, my Twitch. I also might go and spiff up a little bit, make it look nice, but right now I need to get my head on straight. Anyway, I appreciate you guys letting me sit here and vent. I'm appreciating that nobody came here and made fun of me for all this. Normally, when I screw up in the past, people will give me crap for like ever. You guys have been just chill, quiet but chill, and I can appreciate that. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. I don't know what time, but tomorrow we'll do a stream. Probably Black Flag Resynced. It's a good game. Peace out. Adios.